Bande is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. He's also Deputy Director of Operations at the Office of the President. Mustafa, good morning. Thank you very much indeed for your time. How are you doing?
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Great. Mustafa, your party foot soldiers are not happy. They say they have been abandoned. They are not getting some of the appointments and the jobs. They know they see action. Why have you abandoned them?
Well, thank you very much, and Johnny, good morning for playing our party anthem. I think that it's a wish of every party member that once your party comes to power, you are able to get a leverage. In other words, life enhancement. And so they are demands and expectations are very right. However, we have just come to government, and there's a lot of cleanup to be done. There are certain positions that basically on a scale of change of government, those positions must give way for party people to also help their government to proceed. Now, there are some individuals who want to get their share right now. That is because the Minister for Finance, who have been undergoing some economic recovery program, which is homegrown, requires that all departments and agencies would have to, as it were, cut down budgets, cut down expenditures. Most of them have not been able to get financial clearance as we speak to be able to employ. I would also say that a lot of agencies have also employed a lot of comrades, a lot of party people. We cannot recount all of it here. The very intelligent work of my colleague Malik Basintale speaks for it all. Now, it doesn't take away the fact that there are still a huge backlog of people that we have to deal with. But I also say that, Johnny, these things happen over a period of time. We have 4 years term in office. There are some who will get immediately. There are others who will get because others have created something that requires an increase in human resource. And so it goes in that chain. Now, the frustration is when they see that we haven't speed up the process of getting away some MPP elements still within the system. These people make it very uncomfortable for our people to take advantage and leverage on their own government. So if you have a public servant who have gone to contest an election in the MPP and have campaigned against a president or a presidential party from a political party,
right,
and his party doesn't win, and the party he campaigned against have won,
right,
how will that same person be implementing the policies of the government he campaigned against? Which suppose that these same elements will add up to our policies not functioning well. Number one, they don't believe in President Mahama in the first place. Number two, they don't believe in his policies in the first place, let alone to assist those policies to stand. Number four, there are people who we know have done heaven and earth of MPP, but for their own selfishness have betrayed their party and now wanting us to believe that they are NDC. And we have people who have been in the trenches, who have worked, and they see these people still at strategic locations and offices working. That is what is breeding the anger.
right.
If you are a government appointee appointed by President Mahama, and you are in your office and preaching neutrality, you are protecting your own interests rather than the interests of the president and the political party that brought the government into power. If you go to COCOBOD, same things are happening there.
Right.
COCOBOD is rotten to the core. The CEO of COCOBOD On the other, he came out to talk about that, just as we spoke about it. So if these same things or the same people who have helped the politicians within NPP to fleece this country, to steal and to destroy, what business have they got to still sit in offices? So this is just the nature of the problem that our party people are angry with.
I see.
But we are talking to them and saying, listen, in the history of our country, the number of appointments that President Mahama has made have not been made by any president. The appointments have been decentralized. Typical party people. Today, about 80% of national executives of the NDC are in government. If you go to the regional level, a lot of regional executives are in government. This is the first time regional ministers have been picked from portfolios of regional secretary and chairmanship across the country. Our communication officers have been attached to various institutions as corporate communication managers to be able to effectively communicate government policy at those levels. So the intention of the president is to decentralize gratitude to party members so that they will be happy. So if you are an appointee and you don't follow suit to speed up the cleanup, you are sabotaging the president. The president will not come and tell you to do that.
Most of all, does the government and the party by extension recognize serial callers? Because there seem to be quite a number of them who are not happy, particularly they are pointing at their leadership and they say, at least pay attention to their leadership so their leadership can also pay attention to them. What do you have to say to that?
You know, when my brother Famiji was in charge of communication machinery, these things were done very effectively. Today, he is a CEO in the government. New persons are in charge of government communication. We had just come into government and it's just 9 months. You've seen the innovatives of my brother Felix Okokusu-Kwache, where he's trying to put in systems for ministers to be able to update an account to the country. Now, I think the next step is for him to decentralize government communication. So when he gets there, definitely serial callers who play a key role day and night doing the work of this party, showcasing government, are not a cluster of people that anybody will forget. But the question is just when and as to whether they will be patient enough to wait. I can assure you, Johnny, that serial callers have not been left out of the system. I know that some are being taken care of or some are being engaged, but it definitely will not be all of them. And so those who are yet to be engaged, I'm sure that within a reasonable time, Felix himself has been one person who has been in touch with decentralized party communication for a long time. We appreciate all of these efforts that serial callers put through, and I don't think that he will leave them out of the equation.
Now, what kind of jobs will be available? Because you see, some are asking for appointments, some are just asking for jobs. But then the question is, what kind of jobs? We've seen the regimented space jobs. But beyond that, what kind of jobs are in the offing?
Well, the problem is that government at every point in time will have limited jobs for people. Those jobs would be in a varied range. Some are asking for appointments. The people who have been appointed are party people, except that you may not be aware of the person's role because the party is so big. From where we sit, we have people playing a lot of strategic roles that is not known by everybody. Now, I have often engaged with the few youth on social media to say that if you are looking for a job, don't reduce that job search to a phone call where you only sit on Facebook, go into the inbox of an appointee and request for a job by sending your CV. That is not how it is done. It can also be done when you build relationship over time, where your capacity can be tested, your capacity can be verified, that the job you are really seeking for, one, you can do it, you can deliver. So most of our colleagues and our younger colleagues, what they rather do, as opposed to Johnny, what all of us used to know, is to go on social media and just send a CV. But job search is not done in that manner. I have to engage, try and go to offices, make the effort. Sometimes when we were young and going from school, Chief, you go and sit in the minister's office for 3 days. You won't meet him, but you still pursue till you get what you want. And so while that persistence is required, you would also recall that somebody just wants to be chief guard, somebody wants to be a cleaner, somebody wants to be a manager, somebody wants to be a staff of an entity. Those jobs that require financial clearance institutions to be able to give will certainly have to be within the remit of the finance ministry and availability of financial clearance. So if you hustle a CEO who does not have financial clearance to employ you, that CEO is not able to do it. We also know that some appointees are just ordinarily being disregardful of what party people require. We know that, and we would engage leadership to get these matters resolved. Because really, we cannot sit down for any appointee to misbehave for the party to take responsibility, not in this government, not this time around. We cannot stifle our party people. If there are 2 or 3 opportunities, we don't mind. Give 1 to an NPP grassroots person and give 2 to an NDC grassroots person. But where they are seeing that opportunities are coming and directors of NPP who are still at strategic places giving to their party people and NDC people are seeing this, it's a big problem. President Mahama have appointed you as a minister or as a CEO. It is your business to be strategic to infuse the party's ideology in whatever you do. If you don't do that and you think you are an island, then you are better off not being in that capacity. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. The party, the people are the ones who have worked to bring this government to power. It doesn't matter how powerful a person is. It doesn't matter the position you occupy. Minus the party, you are nobody. And so when you sit somewhere and you don't remember the party that have brought you, it's a necessary evil. The pressure is a necessary evil. The same people are the ones who have made us, if they require something, we need to engage with them. We need to speak to them. Even if it is not available, the mere fact that you make yourself available to them and engage them, it's enough regard and respect. Sometimes, Johnny, it is not about the job. It's about communication.
I see.
It's about communication and engagement. That is what we did to win election for government. When you are an appointee, it is your duty now to make the government. We didn't win the election by sitting in offices.
I see.
We won the election by being in the field with the people. So every single appointee of government will be required to make themselves available to deal with party people. They are not monsters, they are human beings.
Okay.
If you cannot serve the party that are to make who you are as good as not being where you are. And so we continuously ask party people to exercise restraint, and they must know that we are in it together.
But the first law of nature, Johnny, Mustafa, is survival. If they are hungry, how do they keep faith with you and know that they are in this together with you?
I don't think the situation is that bad. But I'm just saying that, look, if you look at the 2 days defense that people have put out for Comrade Edwidji Tamakulu, NPA, when somebody sought to defame him, clearly you can see the evidence of appointing a party-friendly person into an institution who engages with everyone. Edwidji may not have given party people all they need. Edwidji may not have been able to provide all the jobs. But the fact that he is available to party people is enough for him, the testimonies you see, to come out for him. So really, it is just survival. Two, it is not whether if I don't get the world to come to an end, how you engage the person will explain it all. I go to certain offices, certain ministers, and Johnny, I have vowed not to go there again because if you see the number of party people there, okay, I've been in Haruna Drusu's office.
Right.
I have been to Sami Jemfi's office. Even Edwig's place, I have been there. The way these people make themselves available for party people, it is difficult for you to even go and add another stress on them. But not all appointees are behaving the way they are behaving. Some of them are not just available because they see themselves as not part of the party. And when you do that, you create a problem for leadership, you create a problem for the president, you create a problem for the party. And so, whilst we continue to pursue and persuade our foot soldiers, our party people, to exercise patience because we have just come to power. And of course, the abandoned NPP Grassroots, we promise that we will not leave you behind. Your party people have disappointed you, they've cheated you. When there is an available opportunity, we will put you in the picture. All of them are part of the pressure that is mounted. We will also plead with our police to change the status quo and change their strategy. I don't think that some of them are living up to the expectation of party people.
I see. Now, the conversation about 24-hour economy, in the run-up to the elections, you and your party promised one job, 3 shifts for 3 people. When are we seeing a full rollout of that? Because if there's a full rollout of that, then you will find jobs available for all these individuals and good people of Ghana, whether they be NDC or NPP, who are looking for something to keep body and soul together. What do you say to that?
Economy is in compartments.
Sunrise on
this is go to Temaport.
The best in the morning.
They are already doing 24-hour economy. And from the conversations we had from the CEO or chief executive there, they would expand recruitment to be able to meet the night shift infrastructure. Now, if you go to the hospitals are yet to start. I also do know that if you go to the assembly, all DCs and regional ministers are currently working on securing landed areas for the 24-hour market, 24-night markets to start. All of this will require expansion of personnel, recruitment in police, all other security agencies that have a role in terms of local government recruitment will be expanded. And so it is not a question of really 24-hour economy. It's a general situation. You may roll out 24-hour economy. It can employ a lot of people, but it won't solve the whole problem. We must appreciate that government will always be limited in terms of the opportunity it makes available. And so, Johnny, 24-hour economy is in full-fledged. It's in consideration. It will be implemented. It will bring jobs, and the people will be employed. But vis-a-vis, you must also look at the economic recovery program that is currently running side by side with everything that we have. That the finance minister believes that it is okay for us to cut costs in order to build the economy faster than opening up so that it worsens our situation again. For the first time, we are seeing the benefits of prudent economic management, cutting down costs. The cumulative effect of it nationally is that our economy is becoming healed. We are recovering from the shocks. Our currency is gaining strength. And so all these indicators influence what government can do or what government cannot do, or what a minister can do or what a minister cannot do. So in the end, all we are asking is patience, people to be restrained, measured in their outbursts, pursuing their dreams hard and rigorously. So there are instances where you may pursue a government job and not get fame at the private sector. We have also asked our party people to try and consistently be in touch with their constituencies. because some of these opportunities will be taken to the constituency. If you don't make yourself available for your constituents to be able to identify what you can do and what you cannot do, then you'll be left out and you'll be hanging on social media looking for a job when your peers are benefiting from the constituency.
See, now, in furtherance of the 24-hour economy conversation, Gihawk, one of the biggest industries we have in Ghana, state-owned enterprise, they have bemoaned that, look, there's a setback to the implementation of the 24-hour economy from their quarters because of low patronage of their products as a result of mismanagement from the past, etc. That certainly should be of concern to you, because the president said that, look, you can't sell alcohol and make losses. When we are happy, he says we drink.
We drink alcohol.
When we are sad, we drink. Even when we don't want to express any emotions, we still drink. That's what the president said.
Yeah.
How is it that Gihawk is now complaining to us when they're supposed to be rolling our 24-hour economy?
The president's comment was in context with the reason that
Sunrise on 3FM.
it was baffling for anybody to think that you have sold alcohol and made losses. Because Maxwell Kusijuma, President Akufo-Addo's in-law, have run down Gihawk in debt. And that was baffling to the president. Now, Gihawk's director's conversation with the committee recently was not to the effect that Gihawk is not able to function, but the problem of importing alcohol from elsewhere, which saturate our markets, hence rendering low patronage of locally produced alcohol. So what really he was talking about is for government policy to minimize importation so that the locally produced alcohol can be patronized. It was not an issue of whether 24-hour economy was jeopardized or it was threatened. Not at all. Because he indicated that work can go on, production have gone on, whether it was 24 hours or half a day. It was done. But the challenge was patronizing of the products that they have produced, which require some advance or additional government policy to minimize the importation of alcohol from other countries so that we will be forced to consume what we manufacture locally. Don't forget that one of the components of 24-hour economy, the drivers, was to enhance locally manufactured goods and services.
I see. Mustafa, we'll have to leave it here and hope that in the coming days, things perhaps will look up for all those clamoring for jobs. But you say 9 months, just 9 months. Some would disagree with you that 9 months is not just. It's actually 3 quarters out of the full year.
In fact, Johnny, there are those who say that even as Mustafa is saying, it's just 9 months. Within that 9 months, some are getting jobs.
Right. And so let's make him answer that question. Mustafa, so 9 months perhaps maybe just minimal for you, but for some it's quite huge for them, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that it's a very big, a huge time frame. But when you put that on the timetable of government, from the finance ministry, from economic recovery programs, it is not such a long time. Now, my experience with formation of government, I have seen from President Mills, I have seen from President Akufo-Addo, I have seen President Mahama #1, and I'm seeing President Mahama #2. This is the first time we have gone the speed with which government have been set up and the performance with which you can see within the space of 9 months. People are getting jobs. Those people who are getting the jobs are NDC people. They are not NPP people. So the fact that I want a job and I haven't gotten, other colleagues who are NDC people are getting the jobs. And so it's the same thing. It's services and leverages for government, Ghanaians, and party people. And so we're just saying that within the period, a lot more space will be created when finance minister opens up the gate for recruitment to be done. And I think that all those who are complaining would have been employed. That is not the question. The issue from party people is that they are not able to assess feedback they are not able to get access to their some appointees. That is the crux of the matter. 2, they are asking appointees to speed up the process of cleanup. Because if, for example, the fraud that happened at National Service Secretariat, all right, it didn't just take one person or 2 people. It took 3, 4, 5 people, from budget to internal audit to everybody. If those people looked on for such fraud to be perpetuated, NDC people are saying, what business do those people have occupying those positions? And you will agree that the same group of people will allow what happened under President Akufo-Addo to repeat in our government. When you go to the school placement, where we have a mess today, for which I think is a sabotage, the people who are in charge are not NDC people, they are NPP people. And our NDC people believe that if they are given that same opportunity, they will serve the people of Ghana better than we are currently seeing. That is the argument. And we respect that over time it will be resolved. We just have to be given space to engage our party leadership with government appointees so that these problems can be rectified whilst we move on. Government or party didn't say that we will not have challenges. We did not say that even our own members will not do things they will not be happy about. As and when they raise it, we will address it and then we'll move accordingly.
Mustafa Gbande, I thank you very much indeed for your time. He's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. He's also Deputy Director of Operations at the Office of the President. Thank you for your time this morning, and we are grateful that you could join us this morning.
We had a conference with SIGA, and we're giving the debt position of state-owned enterprises, and almost all of them are in debt. Even companies like Gihawk distilleries, where when I was president, they used to pay a little dividend to government. Today, they also owe. And the question I asked is, how can you sell alcohol and be in debt? When Ghanaians are happy, we drink alcohol. When we are sad, we drink. When we are not happy, we are not sad, we drink. So how can you sell alcohol and lose? And so we're charging the management of state-owned enterprises and the workers. Let us work together to make sure that we make these institutions viable, because those institutions belong to all of us.
Some 4 minutes after 9 on your radio. The jobs. Can be mommy. The jobs.
You know, it's been. He mentioned the Dujitamaklo situation from this week, and there's been different conversations on Facebook. It's quite. I mean, in recent memory of mine, seeing or witnessing openly persons going after their own government and saying, "Massa, we have campaigned, we have won.
Give us jobs to do."
Look. If there's something I can remember clearly was when the Johnson Asidu Nketiah, the chair of the party, spoke at the UPSA auditorium and said some people have already started dividing the positions. This is what I'll get. He says no. Let's focus on
winning
the hunt. When we hunt, we can decide how we're going to share the game. And so the hunt has been successful. It has reached the sharing of the game.
Let's share the bounty.
Some people are still they are holding their hands like this, and their own pound of flesh.
It's too early for a Didija conversation.
I mean, to be fair, there's a certain reasonableness in the argument that's made because we know there's expectation on the finance minister in terms of a prudent management of the economy. In fact, yesterday we were speaking about it, and the fact that the president does appear to have given the finance minister a lot of powers. We got that on very good word yesterday when senior presidential staffer Beatrice Annan was telling us that some CEOs are calling and are complaining that the finance minister is not releasing funds, amongst many other things. And so there is that level of prudent management expected, reason for which expenditure is not going in the direction as witnessed before. Even for contractors who are owed, they just release 5 billion cedis for them to settle some of the debt because they are verifying and all of that. But even amidst all of that, these foot soldiers continue to make the argument that yes, we understand, but some people are getting the job.
Some are eating, some are not eating. That's the conversation. Obin can be mami. And that's why we are here. We'll say some for you. We'll talk for you. We'll advocate for you. 6 minutes after 9 here on 3FM 92.7. Let's go straight to the doorsteps of the New Patriotic Party, shall we? The lyrics changed. We have won to save Ghana when they were in power. And then when they are in opposition, we shall win to save Ghana. Quite innovative, is it not? Let's go on to the phone line now. I speak with Professor Enoch Opoku Entry. He's a governance, leadership and policy expert. Prof, good morning. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Good morning and greetings to your listeners everywhere in the world.
Great. Prof, the New Patriotic Party is set to hold its presidential primaries next year in January. But ahead, we do know that 5 candidates have been cleared to contest this election. Former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Ejapong, Engineer Kwabena Ejapong, Dr. Seya Educhum, and Dr. Brian Echampon. All 5 of them have been given a clean bill of health to go and contest. So far, the campaigns that have been waged in the run-up to the flagbearership race of the NPP, what can you tell us about it from where you sit?
Thank you once again. I think that the campaign has been nothing short of chaotic in terms of supporters, the way they talk to each other, the way they come on social media, and even the traditional media to speak ill about the other person. There are a lot of secrets that have been spilled out. There are a lot of prophecies. There are a lot of even numerologists predicting who will win and who will not win. So the insults, the feistiness, the incidences that are happening on the grassroots shows that all is not well in the MPP.
Now, the party has just come out of an election, literally, that gave them a very humiliating defeat. There was a Professor Michael Quay committee that was interested in trying to patch the loose ends and tie the loose ends and patch the holes so that the party comes together again as a formidable force. Do you get a sense that they've been able to do that so that going into the 2028 elections, we would have a much stronger party than we saw in 2024?
No, I don't have that sense. I think that all of these have been ad hoc measures being used to solve a permanent problem, which is permanent division in the MPP. So let me take you back a little bit to history.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who knows the inside and out of MPP will tell you that somebody like Kwabena Ejapong, he was sidelined. So that is why he was complaining about the 4.6 million.
That's right.
That candidates will have to pay because he wasn't in government. He doesn't have that money to pay. And that tells you one thing, that those who were in government were able to amass wealth. Those who were not able in government could not amass wealth. The second issue is that you've made the whole thing money. So if I don't have 4.6 million, it means that I cannot contest. An election is not about money alone, even though I agree that if you want to be leading a big party like MPP, one of their attributes is to be able to raise funds.
to support the party because, unfortunately, in Ghana, when a party goes to opposition, everybody keeps their money. So the candidate, everything is on you. It's not just Ghana politics alone, but I've been a Ghana Association president in Ohio.
Right.
Even when you become a leader of any Ghanaian society, you organize the parties, the independence anniversary, everything is on you. So that is how our leadership is. And people who are supporting you, most of the time, the delegates don't even try to support you, unlike the advanced country where they support you. So let's say 4,000 people would have said that I'm paying 1,000 Ghana cedis each to support Kwabena Japan. He would have raised the 4 million. But nothing of that sort happened. It means that you are on your own. Bring the money wherever you can get it from. And then contest. That is if you want to contest. So that was the problem. The other thing is that we know of the conference that NPP went. They had about 45 changes that they had to make on their constitution.
Right.
Now, imagine even in the Constitutional Review Committee that we have with Professor Prempeh, they were going to make 45 different changes in our constitution. That would have been like you were changing the whole constitution. So it means that the NPP constitution itself is faulty. There are a lot of challenges that they are facing. Then you come to the actual election that is going to happen on the 31st of January 2026.
That's right.
And realize that they put on the suit first before the shirt and then the singlet. Which is not the proper way of dressing. The proper way of dressing is to put on the singlet.
Right.
Then you put on the shirt before the suit.
Right.
Now they are using a top-down approach. What that means is that all the existing delegates of the voter album, nothing is going to change. They are not going to have any elections. The same individuals who voted for Bawumia the last election as a presidential candidate are going to vote again. Now, what about those who passed away? They have been replaced in a way that is not in consonant with the party's constitution.
Right.
We heard what Abronyo said. We heard what Wuntumi said, that they will take your name out of the delegate list, and if that happens, you can talk, but you can't do anything because they handle the voter album. So if that is the case, then Kufuor has said it. Kwame Mpiani has said it. Kojo Mpiani has said it. Most leaders in the party are no more respected. When they speak, nobody listens to them. And I always say, if you don't have an elder in your house,
right,
then we'll be tied to you. So the elders in the house of NPP, when they speak, nobody listens to them. It is the young guys who are feisty and who are just agitative who are leading the party now. So what happens? They will find a way to make Bawumia win. Because if you look at the voter album now, it's rich for Bawumia. It's the same people who voted for Bawumia in that percentage they had, the last one.
Right.
So he might win, hands down, if nothing changes. But the problem is that will Bawumia be able to win in 2028 against any NDC candidate? And the answer is no.
Now, the party believes, if you listen to the tone of the leadership of the party, they believe that all is well. And sometimes they make the analogy that, look, the NDC has had worse times. The NDC had been divided into three. They talk about the Fonka Games, Nana Konadu Ajiman Rawlings on one side. They talk about Dr. Joseph Niyama and Bidsiding on one other side. They talk about Gusitano leaving. They talk about all those things, and they say, like, even beyond all those things, the NDC still was able to come back, organize itself and won power, and now they are in government. So theirs is just a passing storm and it will go away. Wishful thinking or the reality? What is it?
You see, time will teach you, time and people will teach you more than what any book can teach you sometimes. And if everybody knows, leadership is so common that even in the animal world, we have leaders there. The wise elephant, the wise ant, the dancing bee are the leaders among the bees. So if you see all the bees around there trying to make honey, the one that can dance well is their leader there. So leadership by nature is in animals, in everywhere. Now the issue is that if you think everything is well and people see your face and you are not well, they can see, right? So yes, right. I can pretend I'm well, but when people see that I've lost weight and my face doesn't look good, they can say that, well, we don't think you are well. And that is what is happening to NPP. Let me give you a couple of examples.
Great.
The Michael Quay committee that was set up. Michael Quay himself, his son, lost to Akugu, this lady.
That's right. Yes, Elikplim Akugu.
So, yes, so you have a problem at your backyard. And what happened to even that report? And the Apia Kubi himself, who lost at
Asante Achim North.
Asante Achim North.
Right.
Was he invited to speak at that event to the Michael Quay committee? Some people were not invited. But there are a lot of people who are peeved, who have gone through a lot of pain by what the NPP has done to them. They were not invited. And then on top of that, when the results came, they decided to sit on it, that we don't want to make it public because the NDC will use it against us. So you have called some people, talked to them about why they lost, and you are keeping it to your chest. What happened to the grassroots there? How would they know how you lost and how to fix it? So these days, everybody can read in between the lines to know why MPP lost.
Right.
And why are we here for the MPP? Because somebody consciously and intentionally decided to do it this way. Nanado decided to sidestep all Alan supporters in the MPP. Everybody, if somebody didn't even like you in MPP and go to tell Nanado's team that you are an Alan, they will take you out.
I see.
Yes. So a lot of people lost their positions because they were tagged as Alan. Now, Alan being Alan and being, a quiet person, he doesn't want to fight, left. Remember, he left twice.
That's right.
So we know that if Ken is not taking an MPP, if they say all is well, if Ken loses and it's not fair to him, he will also leave. And then the only option for Ken will be to join Alan to form their party. And then guess what? MPP is divided into two.
But Ken has given assurance that he is not going to leave. Rather, he says that he will not concede defeat until the last vote and until the last decision is taken. That's what he said.
If it is fair. If it is fair. If it is not fair, like Alan felt it wasn't fair, and nobody will come and speak for you. Because at that time, even Kufuor, deserted Alan. So he had no option but to leave. Remember when Alan was made Ghana ambassador to US and then he came to the Minister of Trade?
Yeah.
Even tax production in Ghana was at the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
That's right. Presidential Special Initiative for Cassava.
At that time distance education was even under Alan.
That's right. PSI.
So a lot of policies of Kufuor was handled by Alan. Why was he treated this way? Because somebody somewhere thought that Alan contested with me, and because of that, every Alan supporter is my enemy. We shouldn't be so in politics.
Well, but you know that Dr. Bawumia has also been apologizing. I mean, there have been pockets of meetings here and there. Gabi Asare-Chodako says that, look, don't go apologizing. Speak your truth and let the people make their decision. Dr. Bawumia has been apologizing for some of the mistakes.
Gabi has added salt into the injury of MPP supporters.
Really?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
How?
Gabi shouldn't have spoken at all, because what he said even about the Asante MP, that they said they didn't want the skyscrapers and all those things, we know what is happening there among them, that they said it's a lie. Nobody said that, because he's trying to shift the blame into Asante MPs, and that wasn't the case. If you look at Bawumia's apology, he apologized on his own behalf and all the appointees that they did not, for what they did and what they didn't do. But immediately we had Dr. Ebichum, who is also one of the contestants, coming to say, apologize for yourself, not for me, because I took Ghana to second position in education. I did what was right in education, so I don't need to apologize for anything. So you can tell that all is not well, because I am just hinging on that point. If they say all is well, all is not well. Even the apology is not everybody who aligns with that. Nanado has not come out to apologize. And Bawumia did not apologize on behalf of Nanado, because Nanado is his boss.
Right.
And Kufuor has said that because of the pomposity and the way they treated Ghanaians, he wished Nanado and the team would have come to apologize. But as it is now, Nanado has not come to apologize. So Bawumia's apology was also not targeted to Ghanaians. It was in context to the delegates that he's appealing to, so that they will vote for him. So it's just a campaign gimmick.
I see. Let's wrap up this conversation this way, Prof. We have 5 gentlemen, 4 of them who served under Dr. Bawumia. In fact, Engineer Kwabena Gyegyeapong launched a very strong campaign to become flag bearer. Eventually, he lost the bid, and he went following Dr. Bawumia around, literally being his right-hand man. So you can then say 4 persons who served under the vice president are now contesting him to be flag bearership. Would you consider that as a vote of no confidence against the former vice president?
Absolutely. It means that they do not believe in his leadership style. And that is why they are contesting, thinking that they can provide a better leadership if given the nod. But we know Kwabena has contested before. There were a lot of people in his house, and in the end, he had only 9 votes. So, and Kwabena don't have money now, so it's going to be difficult for him. I think that Brian is trying to push himself in the line because the whole thing was in Eastern region for a long time. Remember, 8 years Nanado did not win, and then 8 years he was in power. So over 16 years, he stayed in the Eastern region. And now it's supposed to be in the Northern region. So if Bawumia is not able to win this, even if he wins this delegate conference and becomes the presidential candidate, but does not win 2028, then that is the end for the Northern region. It comes to Ashanti region. I'm not sure if Abichum is ready to mobilize the rank and file of Ashanti region to be the leader there because technically, it seems Napo is ahead of him, but I don't know if, and I don't know where Napo is. I don't know where Napo is. That he's not campaigning for Bawumia at this time. Maybe he's sick or maybe something is happening to him. But it's going to be interesting for us to see the end. And after the election on December 31st, 2026, if care is not taken, NDC is going to be broken apart, and then it is going to be a freeway for NDC.
These 5 gentlemen, and my final question to you, these 5 gentlemen have different personalities, different experiences, different exposures, etc. They all come to the table with different, personalities. What kind of a leader does the NPP need at this time from among the 5 going into the 2028 elections?
NDC have shown, if you're talking about the kind of leader Ghanaians are looking for, then look at the kind of leader we have now. A very humble leader who is listening, who is stealing, who builds community. So President Mahama is a servant leader. And if you look at a humble person who listens to the people, builds community, and is trying to build our nation, then you're thinking about what kind of people do you need to counter that? Because even though President Mahama will not contest, he has a huge say in who is going to be the next president or who is going to be the next candidate for the NDC. So NDP needs somebody who is first humble, 2, a unifier, 3, who wants to heal the nation starting from the party first, and 4, who admit that we did wrong and are ready to listen to you to do the right thing. So they also need a servant leader. And among the 5, I think that based on experience, based on humility, Bawumia is more humble than all of them. But Kwabena Japan is also more experienced than all of them in leadership. Aduchum has, international experience that he brings to bear on our party politics. But the delegates decide, because in the end, Sir John said, be a delegate, and you don't know who they're going to vote for.
Professor Enoch Opoku-Antwi, I thank you very much indeed for your time. He's a governance, leadership, and policy expert. We're grateful that you spent your morning here with us.
Thank you, and have a great day.
Pleasure, sir. 3 FM 92.7, the Sunrise Morning Show. It's a winning season again, and this time I'm not just chasing wins, I'm collecting them. Woto. As the luckiest is back again, bigger and better, with chances to change and your life. Let me show you how to play. 2 easy ways to get into the game. First, grab your phone and dial *712#. *712#. Choose option 1 to buy a ticket for yourself, or option 2 to buy for someone else. You want the system to generate a lucky ticket for you, go with option 1 again. Prefer to choose your own ticket, or choose option 2. Confirm your payment with your